Think about this for a second. What if I told you there's a credit score move, a completely legal one, that can boost your score faster than almost anything else? And most people have never even heard of it. And honestly, banks would rather you stay in the dark about this. Because the higher your score goes, the less money they make off you. Lower interest rates, better approvals, more negotiating power, that's money out of their pocket and back into yours. So yeah, they're not exactly advertising this. But today, you're going to learn what I call the 2026 credit score hack. And once you understand it, you'll never look at your credit the same way again. Let's get into it. Here's the thing. Most people think credit scores are complicated, like it's this mysterious system that randomly goes up or down. But it's not random at all. Your credit score is built on a few key factors: payment history, credit utilization, account age, credit mix, and inquiries. And out of all of these, one matters way more than people realize: credit utilization. That's just a fancy way of saying how much of your available credit you're using. If you've got a $1,000 credit limit and you're using $500, that's 50% utilization. If you're using $100, that's 10%. Simple, right? Now here's where things get interesting. Most people think as long as they pay their credit card off by the due date, they're doing everything right. And hey, that's definitely good. You should always pay on time. But your credit score, it doesn't actually care about your due date. Let that sink in. Your credit score cares about what gets reported. And that's the hack. Because credit card companies don't report your balance after you pay your bill. They report your balance on the statement closing date. And those are two very different things. You've probably noticed this before without realizing it. You make purchases all month, then your statement closes, then you get your bill, then you pay it. But by the time you pay it, the damage might already be done. Because if your balance was high when that statement closed, that high number gets reported to the credit bureaus, even if you paid it off the next day. So your credit report might show you using 60%, 70%, even 90% of your limit, even though you're responsible and pay everything in full. And that can drag your score down fast. Now here's the part banks don't want you focusing on. You can control what gets reported. That's the hack. Instead of waiting until your due date to pay your card, you pay it down before the statement closing date. That way, when your balance gets reported, it looks low, even if you actually spent more during the month. Think about it like this. Let's say your credit limit is $2,000. During the month, you spend $1,000. Most people would wait, get the bill, and then pay the $1,000. Totally normal. But your statement might close while that $1,000 balance is still there. So the credit bureaus see 50% utilization. Now imagine this instead. A few days before your statement closes, you pay off $900. Now your balance is only $100 when it gets reported. That's just 5% utilization. Same spending, same habits, completely different credit score impact. That's the game. And I'm not going to lie, this is one of the fastest ways to see a noticeable jump in your score without doing anything extreme. No new accounts, no risky moves, no complicated strategies, just timing. And once you understand this, you start to realize something. Your credit score isn't just about what you do, it's about when you do it. Now, let's take it a step further, because if you really want to maximize this hack, there's a sweet spot you should aim for. Most experts agree that the ideal utilization is between 1 and 10%, not 0. That surprises a lot of people. You'd think having a 0 balance would be perfect, right? But credit scoring models actually like to see a tiny bit of usage. It shows you're actively using credit, not just letting it sit there. So if your statement reports a small balance, that's actually better than reporting nothing at all. Think about it like going to the gym. You don't build strength by doing nothing. You build it by using the system responsibly. Same idea here. Now here's where people mess up. They either max out their cards or they avoid using them completely. Both can hurt you in different ways. But when you use your card and control what gets reported, that's when your score starts working for you. And honestly, once you get into this habit, it becomes second nature. You check your statement closing date, you make a payment before that date, you keep your reported balance low. That's it. Now I know what you might be thinking. Is that a lot of effort? Not really. In fact, once you set this up, it's pretty simple. Most credit cards let you see your statement closing date in the app. You can even set reminders a few days before, or just make it a routine, like paying your rent or checking your bank account. And the payoff? Way bigger than the effort. We're talking about better loan approvals, lower interest rates, higher credit limits, and more financial flexibility overall. Let's be real for a second. Your credit score affects way more than just credit cards. It impacts your ability to buy a home, your car loan rates, sometimes even job opportunities or apartment approvals. So small changes like this, they stack up fast. Now here's another layer to this hack that most people don't realize. It works even better if you have multiple credit cards, because your overall utilization matters too. Let's say you have 3 cards, each with a $1,000 limit. That's $3,000 total. If one card is maxed out at $1,000, but the other 2 are 0, your overall utilization is about 33%. But here's the catch. That one maxed out card can still hurt you. Credit scoring models look at both overall utilization and individual card utilization. So ideally, you want to keep each card low, not just the total. This is where spreading out your spending can help. Instead of loading everything onto one card, you distribute it. Keep each card under that 10% range if possible. And again, pay down balances before they get reported. It sounds small, but this is exactly how people with excellent credit think. They're not guessing. They're not hoping their score goes up. They're controlling the inputs. Now let's talk about timing again, because this part is huge. If you're planning something big, like applying for a mortgage or a car loan, this hack becomes even more powerful. In the 30 to 60 days before applying, you want your credit report to look as clean as possible. Low balances, no spikes, no surprises. So during that window, you can be extra strategic. Pay your cards down early. Keep utilization super low. Let everything report in the best possible light. Because lenders are looking at a snapshot of your credit, and you get to decide what that snapshot looks like. That's control. And honestly, most people never realize they have it. They think their credit score is something that just happens to them. But it's not. It's something you can manage once you understand the rules. And this right here, this is one of the biggest rules. Now I do want to be real with you about something. This hack won't fix everything overnight. If you've got late payments, collections, or major negative marks, those still matter. But even in those situations, lowering your utilization can still give your score a boost. It's one of the few factors that can change quickly, which is why it's so powerful. Think of it like this. Some parts of your credit take time to heal, but utilization, that's something you can adjust almost immediately, and that's why this strategy is such a game changer. Now imagine stacking this with other smart habits, paying on time every time, keeping old accounts open, limiting unnecessary credit checks. All of that combined, that's how people move into the 700s, 750s, even the 800s. Not by doing anything crazy, just by being intentional. And honestly, that's all this comes down to, awareness. Because once you know how the system works, you stop playing defense, you start playing offense. You start making moves that actually benefit you, instead of just reacting. And look, I get it. This stuff isn't taught in school. Nobody sits you down and explains how credit reporting really works, so people just follow the basics. Pay your bill on time, don't max out your cards, which is good advice, but it's incomplete. This is the next level. This is where you go from average credit to strategic credit. And that difference, it can literally save you thousands of dollars over time. Lower interest, better terms, more options. That's real money. So if there's one thing you take away from this, it's this. Don't just pay your credit cards.
Time your payments. Control what gets reported. Keep your reported balance low before your statement closes. That's the hack. Simple, powerful, and completely within your control. And hey, if this opened your eyes even a little bit, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button.